Okay, thank you for tuning in to our last video in the Grow with Google series presented by Adams County Library. I want to thank you for checking out some of the services that Google has to offer and taking a look at some of these great resources we have at our fingertips now with technology these days. So today I'm going to go over another really powerful, fun, maybe not too well known service provided by Google in the Google Drive suite. And it is called Google Sites. So what is Google Sites? Well, basically what it is a website creator and editor for building your own website. And Google has their own version for free. Now, they've had one for a few years now, actually quite some time now, but they've updated it in the last, I'd say 3-4 years to where it's very simple, very streamlined, very basic, that will cover, your core needs for using a basic website editor. And I'm going to walk you through what it all can do, how it works, how you can use it, and then even how you go live and share with other people. So you now have this free resource to create a free website that that will look great and will be easy to use. So that is what Google Sites is. Now, how do we create a new Google Sites? How do we create one of those? Well, it's the same thing with Google Docs and Google Sheets and Google Slides. It's the same thing. All you need to do is go up here on the top left side. You're going to click on New. And on New, all you need to do is go down and go to Sites right here. Okay, so I'm going to click on Sites, and I'm creating a completely new site. Now, your layout's going to be a little different in comparison to like Google Slides, Sheets, and Docs, but a few things are consistent, and I'll give you guys a brief summary and a brief tour on what is what and where it is and all that stuff. So, starting with this, you are now in your Google website, your editor. Basically, think of this as like a preview. On the right side, here's a lot of your tools, and then at the way top here is kind of like a menu bar, if you want to call it that. So first and foremost, same thing with all documents or things that you've made, you got to give it a name. So being that in one of the previous videos we had a cat club in Hettinger, I am going to continue that theme. So we will just call it the Adams County Cat Club. All right, so there is our title of the website, or we'll even call it the ACCC. How's that sound? The ACCC, okay? So that is where your title's at. Also, too, you have a couple other few tools here. You have the undo and the redo. So if I want to undo, I can change the name back to what I had, or I can redo it and go back to what I had recently. You also have the mobile view. So not only mobile, but all sorts of devices view. So you can preview your site in different screen sizes. So right now we're in a laptop view. You can view it, what it looks like on a tablet, and then also what your website would look on a phone. So it's really important to know that when it comes to designing your site, it's really good to know what is it going to look like on all different devices, because there's so many different screen sizes nowadays. You want your website to look consistent as well as professional and clean and all that stuff. And this is a really great tool to have. So I'm going to exit out of that right here. So that's the preview tool where you can view it on different screen sizes. There's also like a link. Once you publish your site, you can actually copy the link and paste it to social media or whatever. You can collaborate with others just like you can with Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, all these things we've talked about. You can collaborate with others by simply just clicking that plus button there and adding other people in, so they can also work on the website with you. As long as they have a Google account, they also can work on it at the same time as you can, which is really nice. So it's not just you taking care of it. Also too, there is a settings feature, which we're going to go into a little bit later. There's also, you can see version history, which we've talked about in previous things, where let's say you've edited some things and then you want to go back well, you have that version history. You can go back in time and go back to a previous version of what you've edited. So that's really, really nice. You can obviously duplicate your site, and then there's a few other things. I recommend for those of you who are new to this stuff to use the Take a Tour feature. That will give you some core basics as well, but we won't do that today. And then last but not least, your publish button, which is what I would technically call like a save button. It's more or less like, all right, I am done. I'm going to publish this to the web. I'm going to say that this is live. This data that, or this information that I've updated here in the preview pane, I'm gonna send that out to the internet so it is live for anybody to see. And then way at the top right here is your account. So that is the menu bar there. And like I said, on the right side you have kind of your toolbar pane here, and you have all sorts of stuff. You can do text boxes. You can put images in your website. You can embed code. You can embed files from your Google Drive. So remember all of those things that we've been doing and we've been building up in the previous lessons, such as, making Google Docs, Google Sheets or PowerPoints, Google Slides, or, even your photos or your drawings. Like if you made a poster, all of that can come in to your website simply by just clicking that drive button and going and finding it. So you have all those basic tools. Then after that, you have layouts. There are pre-made layouts that are here for you. So if you're not sure how to design the web page, or you're not sure how exactly you want it to look, or if you want it to look a certain way and you don't want to spend all that time, you have these here. So I can click on one and it can pre-design the page for me. It can kind of have these empty filler boxes for images and text and all that stuff. Really, really nice. Then after that, you have a lot of additional tools. You have collapsible text where you can click on some text and it will expand and you can see additional information underneath it. You have a table of contents, which I don't use too much when I use Google Sites, but it is really nice if you have, a long list of information. A table of contents can really help you organize all that. You have things like image carousels where you can have a series of images and it's kind of like a slideshow, but more of like a horizontal navigation situation where it'll go from left to right. And we'll see all those in a little bit. You have buttons. All websites have buttons. For example, that's a button. Very, very useful. You have dividers. So I can click on that and I can add this nice little line here and divide my information visually and make it look nice. You can also put in YouTube videos by simply clicking the button and searching for the YouTube video. You can import your calendar from Google Calendar. So if you have different calendars, like for example, I can choose mine and I can insert it. I can actually embed my calendar right into the website. So if you're running, for example, this whole system, as far as like, let's say if you're managing like this, the Adams County cat community or whatever we called it. If you have like a calendar, you can embed that there. Also too, if you have a specific location, you have your maps that you can embed. You can enter in a specific location, and we'll go through those. And remember, this is all tied to Google Drive. You can do your Google Docs, your slides, your sheets. You can embed all of that in your website. And as you can see, we're going down the line here, and all of those things that we've learned over the past couple of weeks have all kind of come to a head, and you can use all of that to make a website. You can kind of use all of these tools together to really become quite a sheer force of nature when it comes to the online stuff. So it's really, really nice. Also to remember, we had forms. We made Google Forms to collect data. You see forms on websites, so they have that right here. Really, really nice. You can even put in charts if you have to have data, from certain charts that you want to put in there. So that's really nice. Those are all the different things that you can embed or put in your website. So also too, you have pages. So let's say you want an additional page. Let's say this is your home page, but you want another one. So I can go down here, click the plus button, and I have some options. I can either make a brand new blank page, or I can make a link. I can link it out to other websites, but I'll make a brand new page. We'll say about us. I'll click done here, and notice that it makes my navigation. Now I have two pages. I have my home page, and I have my About Us page. And each page I can add all of this content. Anything you see in here, as far as all these different tools, you can use all of this on these pages. It's really, really nice. You can even change your navigation around by clicking and dragging it. And now you can have About Us to the, that's first. Or you can move home back and have that first. It works really, really well. Then you have your themes. So they have a few themes here that are really nice. There's a simple theme, and you can change colors accordingly. You can do a custom color. You can change font sizes. So I mean, or font styles, excuse me. There's so many different options you have here. It's really, really nice. You have like, diplomat and all that stuff. There's so many different styles of themes that are out there. So you just got to kind of poke around and see what you like. You can find a look or layout that you like, and then once you have the look that you like, you can go for a specific color. So let's say if I like this, okay, or even better, I'll go back to my simple one, and I'll choose that red that we chose in our previous poster. All right, and there we go. So there's my theme, and what happens is it applies this theme to the entire website. So everything you do is relatively consistent. So let's go back to our home page, and I'm going to show you guys how to do a few different things. So let's start building our page, and let's say I want to change this page title. I simply just go and click on it. So I can call it home, or I can even do welcome. All right. And I can, just like other things, when you have your text here, you can format it accordingly with, bold or italicize, and you can change the type of heading. So if it's a title, it's going to be really large. If it's subheading, it's smaller. Normal text is even smaller than that, and then you have really small. So that's another thing you can play with. You can have any text on the website as long as it's highlighted. You can insert a link, so that way when you click on the text, it actually will send you somewhere. You can easily delete the text just by doing that. So but I'm going to go ahead and bring that back. So I'll do welcome here, and we'll just do a really brief website thing here. All right. Okay, so there's our welcome deal. Now let's say if I want a different background. Like I like that, but I'd like it to be more about cats. So I'm gonna do change my image. I'm gonna go ahead and select an image. I can upload, if I have a specific image, I can upload an image from my computer, or I can select an image. Just like all the other Google services that we know, they have some preset images you can do by a URL. But you can also use Google search as your resource. Super, super nice. So if I don't have an image, but I want a nice one, I'm gonna click cats, or I'm gonna type in cats. So now, let's say I really like this picture. I'm gonna go ahead and select it. And now I have this really nice background that looks really, really good. And it took me 2 seconds to find it. And what you just saw there was this automatic feature that it has in here. I'm gonna turn it off. This is what it looks like normally, but if you turn it on, notice that it darkens the photo so you can see the text behind it. That's a nice additional feature that they have there. Now let's say if I want this header to be bigger, like, you see a lot of those home pages on websites now where it's more of like a cover image where it covers the entire beginning of the page, and they have to scroll to get down to the next piece of information. You can do that by just changing your header type. It can be title only, it can be a banner, it could be a large banner, whatever you like. So that's really, really nice. So we have our header there, and now I'm going to do 3 different images here because we have this preset layout here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do like select an image, and I'm going to Google search. I'm going to do cat again because I need some more cat pictures, because we all need all of that in our life as much as possible. Let's keep going here. I'm going to just throw in some more random cat pictures here just so we can fill up the page here, and then we'll get on to some of the other features that you have. All right, there we go, and we'll do one more here. Select image, Google search. And you notice how quick and easy it is for me to get this content and build my website. It's really, really easy. So I can give things titles by simply just clicking on it. Really, really nice. I can add those descriptions underneath there, and now I have my little divider. Well, let's say if I have more that I want to add in here. Let's say if I want another text box. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and it just adds it right below here. But I don't want it white. Let's say I want it, to be a different color. Over here, you have a background function where you can change it to your emphasis color, which I chose as red, or you can make it more of like a light gray, or you can just stick with the white. So I'm going to go ahead and do the red, and I'm going to do cats are awesome. Or even better, let's do this. Cats are perfect, if you catch the joke. All right, so we have our little divider header, our little color splash there. So I've added text. What else do I want to add? Let's say if I have like something in my Google Drive. If I want to add something for my Google Drive, I go ahead and click on it, and I can simply just browse my Google Drive. I can go into all my folders and all that stuff, and I can see whatever I want to add, and I just click on it, and it will add in here accordingly. Really, really nice. Let's say if I want to add a button, okay, let's say if I want to donate. So donate to cats.us. Okay, so we can do cats.us. So insert. So now I just simply created a button, and now I can click it and drag it. I can resize it, move it wherever I want. Looks super nice, super efficient. Now that's a clickable button. Also too, you can embed YouTube videos just like I mentioned before. So I'm gonna go ahead, video search. Why don't we do some more cats, being that's our main theme here. So there we go. I found my video. You can also go underneath your own account if there are videos that you've uploaded. You can, if it's connected to your Google account, the same account, you can search those videos. Super, super nice. Like I said, once you get your Google account, you can see how all of these things are interconnected and how they all work together so well. It's quite an efficient ecosystem. So I have my image here. I can move that here to the center. If I want it wider, I can make it wider. I'll put it in the center here, and there we go. Now I have my video. It's that easy. Same thing like I showed you with the calendar, even with the map. It's as simple as putting in Hettinger, North Dakota, and there we go. I'll click select, and now I have a map directly on my website. That easy. There's just so much this thing can do. It's incredible for how easy it is. So that covers that. We've gone over themes. We've gone over mobile. So let's say we're done with this, and now we're on to the next page, but we don't want to have a navigation, or let's say if we want to hide a certain page. So this about us, it's all fine and dandy, but we don't want it to be in the navigation. We want to hide it. Well, how do you do that? You just click on these three dots here underneath pages, and then you hide from navigation. It's that simple. It's really, really nice. Let's say if I want a link out to Cats RS or whatever, or what is it? PetSmart. So it's not my website, but I want to link people out to that website. So I can go ahead and click the plus. I can do new link, and I can do PetSmart.com. All right, and I'll do PetSmart site. Okay, so once I click done, now I have an external link in my navigation, and everything looks and feels really fluid and works really, really well. So that is pretty much it. That is a very basic walkthrough on how Google Sites works. The last things that I want to show you, and this is kind of more for advanced users, but once you've published your site, which by the way, this is the publishing process, you click the publish button. You give your web an address, so you can just say like Adams County Cat Club or whatever you want. But this whole thing will actually be the URL. But let's say if you want that to be a little easier. Now, they do have this custom URL thing, but I haven't had as much luck with it. So for power users, this is what I'm going to suggest. If you want to have a .com tied to your website if you want it to be even more so professional. So like I said, we just published it, and now we can see it live right in action. I can go ahead and go to the homepage. I can see everything that I put together. It's a really nice professional looking website that took very little time to put together. But let's say this site, you want a .com, okay? Let's say if you want a .com website with this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this URL. And there's a resource out there called Google Domains, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and type that in here, Google Domains. All right, so I found it here, and you'll come to like a quick, welcome page, but you'll either sign in or you'll go to My Domains. And to forward a domain, or basically you have to first buy a domain. Google Domains is really cheap. This is actually who I recommend. If you want a cheap domain, it's $12 a year. If you want a .com name, it's fantastic. It's only $1 a month if you really think about it. I know there's some out there that may charge more, but if you want to have a .com name and forward it to the website that you just built, it's as simple as going to get a new domain, and you need to go ahead and buy it. We'll just say ACCC club.com. You can go ahead and pop it in. Hopefully it's available. If it's available, you can go ahead and buy it accordingly by putting your cart. But once you're all done, you can go to My Domains. And again, this is for power users, more or less. This isn't so much for early users, but then you go ahead and go to your domain, you manage it, and you just do edit forwarding, and then you just paste in the site right there, click forward, and then when you type in that .com name, it will forward it to your actual website. So that is pretty much everything, I believe. Let me quick go back and check. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to go over in our tour here. Underneath settings, there's a few other things that you can change. You have some navigation options. You can have it either on the top, or you can have it on the side, where you can actually click on it and then it comes out like that. I'll bring that back. You can have different colored. You can have like a white navigation or a black navigation. You can have it transparent. You have brand images, so like a logo, like if there's a certain logo you have, you can upload it and then it'll show up on this top left corner. And a favicon, like whenever you guys post a link on Facebook or social media, it'll show a little preview of what the website might look like, or like some image related to that website. You upload that here, and that way when you share it, it shows accordingly. You have some viewer tools like the info icon. I like having that on. I don't actually have the anchor links on, and I'll explain to you why. Because when you hover over text, it has that weird little link thing there, which is unnecessary. So I personally like to turn that off. And then there's some custom URL stuff. If you're familiar with Google Analytics, you have an analytics tracking ID. And then you can even do an announcement banner. So I can add the banner. I can do a banner color of like bright red. Hey, this is an announcement. And link here. And then like you can do HedingerMD.com. All right, you can do all pages. All right, so that's all done. And there's my announcement. I have like a little banner that I can turn on or off, which is really, really nice. So that is pretty much all the tools that is associated with Google Sites. It's incredibly powerful, simple, and useful. So for those of you who are interested in having your own website, I really can't urge you enough to check this out. If you don't really want to spend a lot of money, but you want to put a website up, this is a great free resource for anybody interested. So that is all I have. Thank you so much for being part of our Google series, our Grow with Google series presented by Adams County Library. We greatly appreciate it, and we hope that you've enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, by all means, go ahead and reach out to us, and we'd be more than happy to help you. All right, thank you very much.